We are on another Essential Me. This time it's holiday diffuser recipes. So we've had the request from Miss Terry, and we're looking at different recipes that basically you can find a make and take with aroma tools that is great to do all of these and share with your friends. If you don't have a diffuser handy or don't have some of these oils, you can always order them. We also recommend certain diffusers, so we'll talk about that a little bit too. But if you don't have a diffuser handy, don't want to get one right away, looking for maybe more of a room spray, then just find a nice fine mist sprayer, and you could do the same things in one of those and just use it as a room spray.
Oh, I was just going to ask, is it important to use a glass bottle or can you use a plastic bottle?
You can use a plastic bottle as long as it's rated for essential oils. So there's certain ones that are, and you can look those up online. I know some of them, if you have any kind of medical grade plastic, if you get the ones from doTERRA, Aroma Tools, or Oil Share, some of the places that do have those accessories, then you're safe. Outside of that, if you're doing it, just look it up. I think PET, and there's a few others that don't have the BPA and stuff that would be leached out into your oils and then into your spray. But any kind of medical grade plastic, hard plastic, typically on the bottom, if it has a recycle number 1 or 2, you're safe. So yeah, you can check that out. There we go. So some of the recipes that we're looking at here have cinnamon, clove, Siberian fir instead of the white fir, because the white fir is no longer available. Wild orange, cardamom, cedarwood, cypress, frankincense, ginger, myrrh, sandalwood. You can do the Indian or the Hawaiian sandalwood, but the Hawaiian sandalwood has a sweeter smell and the Indian sandalwood is more herbal. Then there's black pepper, cassia, citrus bliss, which is a blend of different citruses. You know, there's also a citrus twist and citrus bloom if you want more flowery. So you can use some of those as well. Grapefruit, peppermint, and rosemary. So gift of the Magi is 4 drops of frankincense, 4 drops of myrrh, and 2 drops of sandalwood. Now with my myrrh bottle here, if you can see it, it has its own little place, special place in my heart here, because it will not have the orifice in it. It's just too sticky. And it's the only way I can get anything out. So if you're going to do the ones with the myrrh and you're trying to get drops out, use a little dropper. It's going to be the easiest thing to do than gunking up the top of your myrrh bottle. I brought out my Breezy as a diffuser, just as a small one to show here. Any of the green air ones, you have a wholesale price with Annabelle Kim, and you can order diffusers there, and those are all medical grade plastic and will run very well for you, as well as the ones from doTERRA. It's just you get a wholesale pricing on the ones from Annabelle. Dashing through the pines. So if you like the smell of the trees, the Christmas trees, then 6 drops of either white fir if you have it, Siberian fir. Another sweeter one is going to be Douglas fir. So really any of the firs. And then cypress, you're going to have 4 drops of the cypress, and you're going to have 1 drop of cedarwood. And cedarwood's very calming. So it's going to be a really nice, kind of relaxing Christmas tree smell. Peppermint stick. 3 drops of Siberian fir, 2 drops of wild orange, and 5 drops of peppermint. Now, I could do this without the Siberian fir, quite honestly, because my mom used to take an orange and cut a hole in the top and make sure that it could go all the way through to the base of the orange, and take the porous peppermint sticks, and we would bite off the ends of the porous peppermint stick, stick it through the orange, squish the orange just so we can get enough juice out of it, and then suck through the porous peppermint stick the orange juice. And so wild orange and peppermint is great by itself as well. Merry and Bright. clove, cinnamon, cardamom, wild orange. So these are a lot of the things that are in your On Guard, and On Guard's a great one to just have at the house too. It's just a little bit more difficult to get right now because everybody's using it to boost their immune system. So clove, cinnamon are great for boosting the immune system. And so this is a great one just to kind of brighten up the house. Now, clove and cinnamon are also going to be ones that warm the body. So if you're using anything with ginger, clove, cinnamon, any of those kinds of oils, you might find that as you're diffusing, you're getting warmer. So if you are prone to being warm anyway, this probably isn't the one you're going to want to do. You might go more with the peppermint that cools the body. Warm winter chai, again, warm because it's got clove, cinnamon, and ginger. So you're going to get that all over warm body feeling as you're doing this, as well as black pepper that's going to be helping the circulation system, right? So it's got ginger, clove, cardamom, black pepper, and cinnamon. And it kind of smells like chai, which I love. I love chai tea. Carols by the fire. Sandalwood is very calming, very used a lot in yoga, used a lot in meditation. Again, there's a difference between the Indian sandalwood and the Hawaiian sandalwood. One is sweeter and one is spicier, herbal spice. And then the cedarwood, you're going to have that earthy kind of woodsy smell. The myrrh has almost like, to me, it's almost like a leather smell. It has its own unique smell. It's actually, because it's so thick, it is not one I typically put in my diffusers. I don't really clean my diffusers as often as I probably should have. But when you start using some really thick oils in your diffusers, you're going to have to make sure to maintain them so that they still do what they're supposed to do in diffusing the oils properly. Gingerbread cookie would be one of my favorites. So 5 drops of ginger, 3 drops of clove, 1 drop of cinnamon. Again, all 3 of those warm the body. So if you're a warm-bodied person, this probably isn't the one you want to do unless you've got a window cracked somewhere. Tannenbaum forest is going to be the Siberian fir or the white fir, grapefruit, and frankincense. And frankincense is very earthy, kind of herbal smell as well. So you're going to have more of with the grapefruit, you're going to have a slight citrus, but it's more going to be in regards to the forest and the earth than it is the citrus. Still a very nice smell. Christmas potpourri. Cinnamon, Siberian fir, clove, rosemary, and wild orange. So you're seeing a lot of the same things with the cinnamon, clove, and wild orange and the Siberian fir, but this one has the rosemary in it. So it's going to give it a little bit of a sweeter kind of smell and probably more of that potpourri kind of scent that you're used to in regards to it's going to smell like a sweeter herb, if that's a good word to say there. I think we're on about number 6 here. This is spiced hot cider. 4 drops of cinnamon, 4 drops of wild orange, and 3 drops of clove. So the number of drops as you're putting them in will go with most diffusers. The diffusers on their box should tell you how many drops. Typically, you're going to have about 5 drops per 100 milliliters. And so depending on the water reservoir in your diffuser, it might take about 5 drops total, or it might take 7 to 10. Some of the really large ones will take 12 to 15. And then it's also up to your preference as to how much you want to put in there as well. But you can always add, so don't go overboard to start. It's harder to fish them out. Go ahead and add if you want to add more of one thing or another. And remember, with wild orange or grapefruit, any of the citrus, if you're close to the bottom of your bottle, it's going to come out a lot faster than it normally does. Holy Nativity. 3 drops of Siberian fir, 2 drops of wild orange, and 5 drops of cassia. Now, cassia is my favorite over cinnamon, unless I'm taking cinnamon to the roof of my mouth where it tastes like a red hot. where I tip it over on my thumb and then take my thumb to the roof of my mouth. Basically that just tastes like a cinnamon red hot to me, and that brings me back to being a kid, and it kind of helps that sensation of wanting sweets, right? So it curbs kind of the sweet tooth. The cassia is a sweeter kind of cinnamon. It's in the same family, so it's not as in your face as cinnamon bark is, but it still has that full cinnamon bouquet to it. And it's one of the ones that I like to put on sliced apples. It helps keep them from turning colors, as well as gives you that cinnamon apple crisp. Vanilla spice. This is where your citrus bliss comes in. It's the only blend we have on here. And you can do like a cinnamon twist or some of the other, not cinnamon twist. You can do the citrus twist or the citrus blossom if you want something a little bit more flowery. And then you're adding the cinnamon to it to give it that spice, give it that kick. So here's a couple of the tips that we talked about a little bit, was to use a spray bottle and turn the recipes into a room or a car air freshener. And then for a true make and take experience, check out Aroma Tools. This is the link here to go. And they have packets where you can do a class and just show people how to make and take any of these 12 recipes and give them the other recipes to take home as they make one. If you need a refresher course on diffusers and how they work, check out the video library at essentialpartners.one. We currently have up there the diffuser video as to how to clean it, how to take care of it, and how they work. That one will be shortly taken over by this one, where we'll show you about the holiday recipes if you missed this class. Use your Modern Essentials book to see what blends well with the scents of the season that you like, and create your own recipes. So when you look up any specific oil, you'll see on there it blends well with, and it'll have a list of other oils. Check them out, see what you think. And if you don't have a particular oil for a recipe and need a substitute, there's also ways to get those. Typically, you can find those in the Modern Essentials book as well, or just text me or call me. Things like we said, cassia versus cinnamon, Siberian fir versus white fir, or Douglas fir, or any other firs that you might have, are good replacements, substitutes for some of the ones you may not have. Any questions?